Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me and being here. I'm out here at Reserved Cafe in Melville. I just had their thighs, deboned thighs, and their salad. Please, if you ever find yourself here, please do try that meal. It's amazing. The address is right at the bottom of the screen. Do come and try out their awesome meals. On this episode, I want us to have a chat about, actually, it's a continuation from our last episode. We spoke about how, the psychological results of traumatic experiences can stop you from fulfilling God's purpose, and that's exactly it. I wanted us to actually touch base on the psychological results. So whenever you encounter a traumatic life experience, especially when you are a child, what happens is, it's I call it an encounter. Something happens to you, you're sexually abused, your mom left you, so many events that people have gone through. It will develop negative emotional states and simultaneously also developing negative beliefs, especially about yourself, about the world, about a lot of things. But our focus is about yourself. And that together brings rise to behavior. And that's what a lot of people focus on, the behavior, which is the end product of the emotional states and your belief system, especially about yourself. And the reason why I focus on the belief about yourself as it pertains to negative experiences or adverse childhood experiences or traumatic life experiences, childhood traumatic life experiences, is because you act in line with who you believe you are. And you find that consciously at this age or as an adult, you believe that you're awesome, you're great from a conscious level, but subconsciously you believe you're nothing, you're a nobody, and you don't know. Sometimes we don't know that those things exist. So you wonder why you're not able to make progress. You wonder why you're not able to do things that you want to do, or you want to be out there. For an example, in our last episode, we looked at Moses. God went to Moses and said, Moses, I want you to do this great thing for me. Go and liberate the children of Israel. We read in chapter 4, verse 13 that he said, look, send somebody else. I'm not going there. That is after he went to lengths convincing God why he can't do it. And we learned from there that it's because he lacked an identity. Moses was supposed to be raised as a Levi. If he was raised as a Levi, he was going to know that part of his mission is to serve God as a Levite. And that would have enabled him if he was trained as a Levite, because then God said to Moses, then let's bring Aaron in, and Aaron will speak for you, because Aaron was raised as a Levite. So if he got, the training that would have given him the identity of a Levite, I believe it would have been easier for him to say yes. But we find him not allowing, for that process to begin. He says, no, find somebody else. And that's exactly why I'm saying the most important part for me as it pertains to the reason why traumatic life experiences are so dangerous is because they affect how you see yourself, your self-image. And anything that is not supported, or any belief that is not supported by your self-image and how you see yourself, will be rejected. You will not be able to sustain it. So if from a subconscious level you believe that you are a nobody and consciously have to do things that require for you to believe that you are somebody, you are not going to be able to do them. If today I said to you, you're going to be the next president of South Africa, for an example, you're going to probably say absolutely not. And you find that is God's destiny for you. Why would you say absolutely not? Or you might say yes, jump at the opportunity, but somehow you self-sabotage. You act in ways that sabotage, that God's plan over your life of being the president of South Africa. The reason why that is happening is because from a subconscious level, you have beliefs about yourself that are not in line with what God wants you to be. And that is why traumatic life experiences are so dangerous. So when you begin your healing journey, yes, you will release the negative experiences by replacing them with more positive ones. God will expose you to a plethora of experiences that are positive, that are going to help you to release the negative states. But that is not complete. You still have to come back and edit the stories. I call them stories. The I ams, they are very important. When you begin your healing journey, the quickest way for you to discover who you are from a subconscious level, I'll make you an example. You speak with somebody, you get offended. They say, please pick up this Bible. You see how easy that is. I said, pick up this Bible. You get offended and say, what do you mean I must pick up this Bible? Do you mean I am? Anytime you find yourself in conversation, you're offended and you react with, oh, does it mean I am? You need to cultivate, the habit of pausing. That will give you an idea or an indication of who you believe you are from a subconscious level. And I'm using this example because we all go through it. I've been through it. I've had, times where I was offended with different people. The best one for me was with waitresses, because I believed that I was worthless. And that's the other thing about traumatic life experiences. They mess around with your sense of worth. Anyone who has had a childhood adverse childhood experience or childhood trauma, they suffer with the belief that they are worthless. Their innate self-worth is tempered with. So you'd find me in a restaurant and somebody's serving me food and probably they spilled my coffee. And like the stain on the coffee, it's just like a little mistake. I'd get so upset. And that's because for me, them giving me the coffee that is stained means that I'm worthless because I believe I'm worthless. This person didn't say, Otando Nkosi, you are worthless. No, they just brought me coffee. But the meaning I attached to it was in accordance to how I feel about myself, to who I see myself as. And as a result, then you'd find me engaging in things that continue or support the idea that I believe that I'm worthless. If I try and fight that, it's like you're trying to fight a ghost. You don't know where they are. It's in the dark. And that's the nature of subconscious beliefs of who you are. You can try your best consciously to act, great and awesome and all these things. But if you don't attend to who you are from a subconscious level, it's never going to work. Another way to discover who you are from a subconscious level is think about the traumatic life experiences you've gone through. For an example, a lot of people grew up without their fathers. If I ask you today, please complete this sentence for me. My dad left me, or my dad left because I am. Whatever that you and please be honest, whatever that you attach to that I am is who you believe you are at a subconscious level. For an example, for me, my dad left when I was 11. One of the beliefs that I held about myself is I am unlovable. So when I completed that sentence, from my core, I said, my dad left because I am unlovable. And that used to be how I felt about myself. It came up in my relationships. I was so afraid, in my marriage that my husband would leave me because I believed that I was unlovable. So that fear, it was at a conscious level. I was being afraid that my husband would leave me. But the real reason why I believed that my husband would leave me is because I believe that I am unlovable. I don't know if it's making sense, and I hope that it is making sense to you. So we need to attend to who we are from a subconscious level, because your I ams direct your life. You act in line with who you are. If you can, please get the book by Maxwell Maltz, life-changing book. One of the people that I'm learning from. It's called Psycho-cybernetics. He'll teach you there about the psychology of the self-image. The psychology of the self-image, he says there that anything that is not aligned with your self-image gets rejected. Any behavior that is not aligned with your self-image gets rejected. Anything that you're trying to do that is not in line with your self-image gets rejected. So you might try to, open a business. You want to do business. You want to go out there and do the things, but you find yourself not being able to. It is because from your self-image at a subconscious level, the I am that is needed for that behavior is not installed. I want you to think of the self-image and how you see yourself and your beliefs about yourself as an app. Your subconscious mind is made up of a lot of things, but one of them is, like I said, the self-image and the identity. I want you to think of it as an app in your phone, in a laptop. Anytime that you want the phone to do something that is not supported by a certain app, it will not be able to perform that task because the necessary software is not installed. So what am I saying to you on this episode? Just tying it up with our last episode is that our soul are an integral part, are a very vital part to us fulfilling God's purpose on this earth. And that is because the soul comprises of your mind, your emotions, and your willpower. The mind comprising of beliefs about yourself, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And the most important part being the subconscious mind. The conscious part is like a remote. You press where you want to focus. It controls what gets into the subconscious mind. It's like a gatekeeper. So if you can replace the stories that you have from a subconscious level of who you are, I ams, then the conscious part will be able to do the job of gatekeeping of what goes inside of the subconscious mind. Then you can choose the beliefs that you want and the beliefs that you want to build going forward. So the math of healing for me is healing purpose alignment. The healing part is editing the stories. The stories about who you believe yourself to be, the stories about what you believe about money, the stories about what you believe about life, what you believe about the world. Releasing the emotional states, the negative emotional states. It's easy to release negative emotional states. Meditation helps you going out there and experiencing, making sure that you're intentional about experiencing positive emotions, celebrating yourself. That math, the emotional states, the positive emotional states with the edited stories, when you do your affirmations, it will change the behavior. So a lot of people focus on the behavior. They want to stop doing things. But you cannot stop doing things if you have not attended to what is underneath that powers that behavior. With that said, if you find yourself wondering what is happening with the person, the question to ask is, according to Oprah, my favorite person, my favorite mentor, distant mentor, is not what is wrong with the person, but what happened to you. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Please don't forget to like and subscribe on the channel. Like this video, share it with people that you believe is, it's going to help. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.